Okay, so it's been recording this webcast, Trade Ideas with Odds of Success. Today is already October 1st. Time flies. And my name is Sergey Savastyuk. I have a PhD in applied mathematics. I used to teach at Santa Clara University, and then I started a few companies, some successful exits here in the Silicon Valley. Now I am leading Tikkeron because it's very close to my PhD, artificial intelligence, game theory, and all kinds of stuff, okay? Now, let me give you a brief introduction of Tikkeron, and you will see the difference between Tikkeron and pretty much any other company which provides some advice. First of all, Tikkeron is Security and Exchange Commission registered company. It's a big difference between site or company which is registered and not registered. If the company is not registered, then there's much more gray area where they can operate, and if they cross the line, they can be sued. As you can see, Online Trading Academy is being sued by Federal Trade Commission for misleading consumers, making all kinds of claims and charging them $50,000 for a trading course, okay? So if they would have been a company which is registered with the SEC, then most likely it would never happen, okay? So in order to find out whether or not company is registered, you have to find somewhere in the general information or in the legal information this form ADV Part 2, okay? And it looks like that. So for instance, company betterment, it's also in investing. This is a form ADV Part 2. What it means that this company is registered with the SEC, and all this information about this registration is here, and you can trust to this company more than those which are not registered, because they can tell you all kinds of bullshit, okay? Honestly saying. All these testimonies and everything is quite often made up. Now, why you're here? You're here because you want to really learn how to trade with the algorithms, with AI algorithms. A lot of trades are made these days with algorithmic trading, quite a lot of AI. And if you do not use it, then you might end up in this group, which is about 170,000 Robinhood millennials get stuck in a short stock spiral, okay? So this has been published 4 months ago. And even before 4 months, our recommendation was sell. And then if you go to our website and type, let's say, Hertz, okay, then you will see that is company not recovered yet. You see it's still strong sell. If you look at the performance for the last 6 months, you see it dropped significantly for a year. It has lost like 94 or like 95%. It's been for about $1 quite a long time. And all these people got stuck there. Why? Because they never believed that this is a downtrend, okay? And I will show you that when we see that, we call it downtrend, and we play down. We don't try to find any opportunities to find the trend reversal as they've been trying to find it, for instance, right here, right? So they thought it is a reversal, there was a pump and dump, and now it's a loss, okay? So in order to avoid those, we have this side, Tikkeron, which really helps you, okay? Now, what I'm going to be talking about, I need to cover with you some basics, okay? And with these basics, I will tell you what is a trading plan, what are the odds of trading success, that's what this thing is all about. Then I will show you how we do the group trend analysis, okay? And then I will talk about these free trade signals and free industry reports, which is mainly the topic of this presentation. I will briefly touch our premium tools, but that's not the topic of today. Topic of today is primarily about this odds of success, which we present in the signals and some other parts of our system, which you can access for free, okay? So now, let's talk about the trading plan. It's a very basic presentation, and to develop a really good plan, you have to work more, but it gives us some sense of what we do here, okay? So let's assume stock goes up, and then you bet here is going to continue going up, right? So it's trend continued. Then trading on a dip, people like to trade in the dip. Then trading on a breakout, it goes up, and you trade up only when it crosses a particular point, a pricing point, that's entry point. That's what we do with our patterns. And this is a trend reversals. That's where people lose most of the money because it typically goes that way. It goes down and keep going down, even if there is a small up. And quite often it is just simply a reverse on the dip, kind of a little bit up and still going down, okay? So then on the breakout, it should cross the line here and then keep going down. That's a big point which we use in our developments. And a trend reversal is also a point where you lose most of the money if you trade short, right? And then please try to avoid the search for the trend reversals. It's very hard and it's practically impossible, okay? So the tip number 2, if you want to lose most of your money, then try to find trend reversals. And then it's almost guaranteed you're going to lose money. What is important is to do the following. First, you have to really look to the past and see what's going on with this particular stock and with this particular strategy and do so-called backtesting, okay? What are the odds of success? Look, let's assume I want to trade on a dip, right? So then I'm going to go back and find the similar cases like a month ago, 3, 5, 12, whatever. It could be 10, 20, 100, 200 cases. And then we count success, failure, success, success, 3/4, 75% odds of success, okay? So what it means, what is the backtesting at Tikkeron? It's odds of success, a percentage of outcomes which confirm successful trade signals in the past, okay? So when we provide any trade ideas with odds of success, they are always with good odds of success, okay? We just don't provide any signals which do not have good odds of success. They are all good, okay? So now, here's a good demonstration of a trend trading. It is a winter sport, half pipe, and the person kind of, this is the same one guy kind of goes up, down, and fly on this type of situations. Why it flies? Because it kind of keeps accelerating, gets inertia, and then flies. And that's how we trade. We don't trade here, we don't trade here, we don't even trade here. We trade only when we have enough inertia and go right back, okay? So that's what is called trend trading. So when we trade, then we trade on the trend. And that's kind of important not to get to the case with the hertz, right? So if we don't have enough of a data to support that trend, then we just don't trade it. Why we don't have enough data? Look, it's been losing. Yes, there is this bump, but from our perspective, that bump is not good enough to trade. It's more like a trend reversal, which was not confirmed, and we don't trade that stuff, okay? So that's important thing comparing us and all others who sell the concept of the trend reversals. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, now about the group trends. Okay, so what is? It is an interesting concept, which you've noticed on the market. When the market goes down, most of the stock go down. Okay, why? Because they have like a herd mentality. If there is noise here, then the herd moves this way. Noise here, the herd moves this way. And then if you select this particular shape, right, then herd is just gonna move it left and right. The same thing with stocks. If you identify properly your herd, then you're better off and you improve your odds of success when you analyze that group, okay? So one of the things which we sell in terms of encourage you to use is a concept of the analysis of a group. Don't take on its face value only one stock, because then you really at the mercy of only one data point. When you have a group, then you have a much more chances or odds of success to succeed, okay? So now let me show you the things which we do here, okay? So first of all, that's how you get hertz, okay? So for instance, that's the way I did it. I type here hertz, so hertz, okay? And here, and then get signals, right? So when I press here go, then I get to the same page I showed you before. It's still strong sell. It is not, even if it is oversold. There are indicators we're saying oversold, overbought, and some people think, oh, if it oversold, then it must go up, right? Not. If it is oversold, doesn't mean anything. It just simply oversold. And whether or not it's go up, it's not dependable on this concept of overbought, oversold. Yes, there is some tendency to go up, but it is not guaranteed. Okay. So now let's look at where we get these free trade signals and how we interpret them. Okay. So load the latest signals. Okay. Now we see them, and now let's see and figure out what we can find out out of this one, okay? Now, I'm just very first one I found. As you can see, it is this chart of LAIX, okay? It's a company. What we found, it's our own signal. It is an indicator, our own indicator. And you might say, oh, I don't know what this our own is. Then you always can read right here, click our own, and then you will find out that this type of lines show buy and sell signals, and you can read and you can make some conclusions, okay? But in our case, computer did this conclusions. It does calculate this particular signal every day for every stock, and then shows us when this signal is good, right? So odds of downtrend is 88%. Okay, how was it found? Let's read that. Okay, so you see, it found 117 similar cases. Okay, so in my diagram, it was only right here, it was 3 out of 4, right? Here, I found 117 similar cases in the past for this particular stock. And with this particular indicator, then 103 of them were successful. What it means successful? It means if indicator shows down, then it's confirmed going down. And that's how we calculated 88%, okay? So what does it mean? Does it guarantee us that it's gonna go down? I can tell you there are maybe 200 different indicators, some of them very popular, some of them not. And that's the kind of one of them. And what we do is, okay, it's a good signal. I'm gonna trade on that signal going down. Or like then I would say no, don't jump into the conclusion based only on one indicator, on one piece of news. What we have to do, we have to explore. First thing to explore, for instance, we can read view headlines, okay? By clicking on headlines, we see some articles. There's only one of them, typically 3. And now we can go to this company and read more and see what's going on, okay? So yes, it is sell, okay? It is only $53 million capitalization, and then $1, it's pretty much penny stock in our consideration. Here is information about earnings, okay? Then let's read more. So as you can see, this is a whole article about the analysis of other indicators. And this information you can get for free, just simply registering, which you already did. Okay, if you don't know anything about momentum indicator, then you again can read that here, and then really good educational materials. Okay, about moving average you can read, our own indicator. There's bullish analysis. So there's some indicators do show stock going up. And then what we do, we take all the information and additional information, including the fundamental analysis, and then we present this scorecard, okay? So what we see here, that bearish is kind of prevailing, with much greater odds of success. So that way we're saying, okay, it is most likely it's going to sell, okay? Is that possible it's going to go up? Yes, it's possible. And for that reason, we do have stops, which always needs to be preserved. So if we here consider some kind of growth about 4% a week, then about 2% or so should be in a stop, okay? So now let's go back, and then let's analyze more of other possibilities in the news, okay? So here, look, it's interesting in other signal, Sesen Bio, right? And we have all kinds of different news, okay? One was, as you can see, based on this Arun signal indicator, right? There are about 7 indicators we cover. We also cover and analyze very special events. So for instance, this is a record volume. As you can see, there is a significant increase of a volume. And then what this AI does, it goes to the history, looks at the increased volume, and looks what's going on. Let's see, okay? So what it does, it finds that it was similar cases when the volume was increased approximately that way. Most likely it's you see biotechnology company found 103 similar cases. 97 of them went up after increase volume in a similar manner. Okay, we're saying, oh, it's really 90% chances of going up. Okay, let's look at what's going on here. Price, it is, oh, again, penny stock. It's about 64 million valuation. Okay, now let me see why I have too many. So in order to filter by asset classes, I have to open here. Okay, and oh, now I understand. You see what's left, maybe from previous presentation, I have only penny stocks, okay? So what I can do, if I do click here, and then unclick here, then I'm pretty much gonna have stocks without penny stocks. Now, all my signals are gonna be dedicated to other types of companies. So no wonder I showed you only penny stocks. And in fact, next webcast is going to be about penny stocks. That's maybe the reason I have penny stocks as a setup, okay? So we keep getting new signals. And that's a signal about, first one about Xerox. Okay, let me show you how to then use these hashtags on the same feed, free trade signals, okay? So Xerox, It's a company which we here also see 3 months gain. What it does, it's kind of a little bit of a way to find the trend reversal, but in a mathematical way. Okay, so what we do, what we did here, we based on historical data, when it jumps 21%, then we went back and checked, like, hey, did it go up or did it go down? It turns out that after this type of a jumps on the 3 months gains, it goes down 70%. Look what it reads here. It was like 200 cases, a similar jump, and 140 of them actually went down on a Xerox. Okay, so that's how you can find something reasonable and justifiable. Okay. So now, let's assume I want to confirm and see what's going on with this particular news. So I can click on the news. Now I have real full analysis of this, all indicators and everything, what is here. Now let me look at the buy sell recommendation. Okay, it is sell. Okay, so yes, it confirms this particular news, and this is only a news, because this is a news which is just single event. But then you have to look at the overall scorecard and see what is happening, and then view both technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Then you can read here earnings, analyze the support or resistance. There are headlines. Okay, so what we see here is different types of news. Okay, now let me show other tricks how to do the group analysis and also how to use these hashtags. First, let's assume I'm kind of interested to find out what's going on with the group of Xerox, and it is industry computer peripherals, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click here and I do search. Now, what I'm gonna do is to collect all companies in the computer peripheral industry and see what's going on, okay? And this one is immediately, so I'm gonna do unclick penny stocks, then it's gonna recalculate me. So what I see here is the report on the computer peripherals, which analyzes all this news for all companies together, okay? And then it gives me group highlights on these particular stocks. Only 12 tickers here in this group, okay? Now, let me give you the next step of a trick. You always see this blue bar. What this bar does, allows you to move this number of companies to any module in our software, even make a copy in a clipboard. So for instance, if I click here, clip to the, you see copied, and then I can go here in the chat, and then I'm gonna make it paste. Now you see in your chat here in the Zoom, the list of all stocks in the computer peripheral, which are not penny stocks, which are being analyzed and presented in this report, okay? Now, let me show you another thing, like I'm gonna move it to the scorecard, okay? The scorecard was for one company, now I'm gonna move it to the scorecard for the entire group. Okay, let's find out whether what is the recommendation for all these 12 companies. It's hold. What it means hold? It means it's kind of this group is not convincingly moving up or down, okay? So as you can see, it's a kind of a chart of declining issues versus advancing is one-to-one. It's no clarity for this group. And as you can see, some of these companies are going to be buy, some of them are going to sell. You see Xerox is sell, some of them buy, right? From that perspective, there is no clear confirmation where this group going, right? So if I really want to trade Xerox, I can trade. Looks like the odds are good for selling the stock. But if I want to be very diligent investor or trader, I really want to get a confirmation from the group. And that's what we typically do before we trade, okay? So now let me go back to here. As you can see, I'm just on a single news and I'm analyzing that. And you can say that's a lot of work. I will tell you, yes, that's a lot of work. And then what we did to simplify that work, we created robots, okay? So what robots do, they do exactly what I just told you. They find the news, they analyze the odds, look at the groups, look at that, look at this, and then trade. So for that reason, what we have is these AI robots, okay? What the AI robots do, they just trade. They do not analyze, they do not present, but they do have a really good track record of just trading, okay? So you can look at these robots when you have a good time. So we have not good time, when free time. Analyze them, you can view these details. You can click here and view details. So what it does, it just shows you all the closed trades and open trades. As you can see, it does trade up and down, very small losses, but good gains. So let me see, open trades. Yeah, you see it did trade just recently, okay, and then one trade has been for a while, so I can close that one. So as you can see, we do provide the premium service for those who do not want to kind of analyze similar to what I did, okay? And some people really like to find these ideas by themselves and then trade by themselves. So for that reason, they can access these free trade signals and do all kinds of analysis. So now let's look at this. What's that? Bullish trend signal, 83, okay. So 83 uptrend continuation. As you can see, this is a uptrend. This is a really good way to trade uptrend continued, right? So what I can do, I can look at the data processing services. I can do the following. I can click here, search. Now, what I'm going to see is 45 tickers. Let me remove the penny stock, which quite often disturb. Only 30 stocks which are not penny stocks. Okay. And let me move it to the scorecard again and see what's going on with that group data processing services. Okay. Oh, it's a buy. Cool. Okay. You see, it took me a little while, but I did find a reasonable group, which is somewhat evaluated group as a buy, right? I can say, okay, show me the group scorecard, view more. As you can see, we have quite a lot of buys, very few sells, companies. You see, outlook is positive. This is looking up, looks good. Then I can read more. And this is all the companies which mostly buy, right? So from that perspective, that herd is kind of moving up. So that means my PayPal idea now looking better, okay? So that means this is the odds of success without taking into account group. Now, if I want to trade PayPal, then my chances are going to be even better if I incorporate the concept of a group. Okay, you follow me? Yeah. So even in front of you, I found a good opportunity. In order to test that opportunity, you can click here, make a paper trade, okay? So here I'm gonna buy, and then it's gonna be recorded in my paper trade. I think I have another webcast on paper trades. You can look at them. It's not the topic of today's, okay? So let's look at other. You see signal on moving average signal, odds 74%. As you can see, it's kind of been really in a good trend and touches most likely 50-day moving average. That's another signal, okay? So what are the buttons here? You can add the portfolio, you can make paper trade, or you can vote and find out what our community thinks, okay? Let's vote and see. I would say I'm gonna confirm that's gonna be bullish, and confidence, I have a high confidence. I click here, and now let's look at what the community is thinking. The community is thinking similar way, with the odds of success like about 84. This is pretty close. That means people kind of looking here and voting. And that's a confirmation that within a month, it's going to go about 4%, which is a really good gain on a monthly basis, okay? So this R is coming from the free trade signals. And let me then ask you if you have any questions, okay? If not, then let me then show you some other ways to find the trades, okay? So what you can do is to look at the earnings calendar, okay? So that's actually our new feature, earnings calendar for today. This company made the reportings, but if you want to find out who is going to make earnings reportings tomorrow, then you pretty much go here. It's nothing on Friday, but you can go ahead and look what's going to happen next week. It's kind of pretty weak because the earnings seasons, I think, start somewhere here. You see on the middle of October where you see more reportings. Okay, so if you select, let's say, October 14, this is the reporting. So now you see these are reportings of the companies, and then you can see, let's say, on the 6 months basis, this is a Wells Fargo are going to be reporting on October 14, and in order to, you see here our buy-sell recommendations. Okay, Wells Fargo is still sell, strong buy. As you can see, if you have that ability to look, then right here we already present you our recommendation, and that's where you can see what happened with the earnings right here, okay? So let's assume you are, today is what, first, it's about 2 weeks ahead, and you want to create a watch list out of these companies, okay? So how many companies are going to be reporting? 44 companies. And then let's assume you want to create a watch list and see and analyze these companies. There is the same opportunity. You click here. So you select pretty much all of them, right? Not all of them. Let's say, so click on click. So now I have 44 tickers, and now I can move them to anywhere I want to analyze odds of success, right? So let me move to screener, okay? So you can copy this to screener, okay? Click. I'm using my blue bar to move it to the screener. I'm not gonna go through all the details, but the good thing is these are all 44, okay? And this is the list, okay? This is a classical fundamentals, and if you don't know anything about fundamentals, then we created our own ratings. Okay, but before going to ratings, I will show you this technical analysis with odds of success, because it is what we've been talking today. Okay, now let me show you what is the difference between the odds of success I showed you on a day of a signal and presented here in the screener. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's take this signal. Okay, this is ACML. It's a semiconductor company. And that signal with the moving average, you see, you can quickly read about moving average. The odds of success 78%. Okay, and that signal was today. That's what it shows. But when I did not have that type of a screener, I always wondered if a signal was produced, let's say 5 days ago, what are the chances of success when I'm kind of far behind of a consideration? Some software just don't answer that question, but we did create a mechanism which calculated every day. And what it does, it says, okay, the momentum indicator was giving us a signal 5 days ago. But then what we did, we looked back to the history, found all cases when the momentum was given, plus 5 days, and the odds of success 69%. Okay, MACD, as you don't know about MACD, you can read it here. Then 3 days ago, it gives us 69% of the odds of success, okay? 18 days ago, it's pretty far away, but Arun still giving us a positive. You see, all of them are giving us a positive, which is kind of a good. Let's look at the trend on the 3 months. Oops, it was a year. Yeah, what was the, yeah, it's a 1 year change. So in order to have that sorted, let me click it here on the price. ACML is here, right? It's kind of most expensive. It's going to be easier for me. So I'm kind of looking at ACML, and then let's see what's going on for the last 3 months with this stock. Okay. It's kind of questionable, but there is some trend. But on the 3 months, it's about the week. It's keep moving up. Okay. Now let's look at the fundamental analysis. Okay. So what we did, we introduced different ratings. Let's say it's company overvalued. Profit versus risk. It's also proprietary rating, which shows it's a good balance. Everything is okay. And now let's look at the scorecard of ACML, and it's a buy. Well, that's good, yeah. Now I'm thinking, okay, what if I want to buy this company? Then I click here, and I can make paper trade, but I also can read more about this company. Okay, so as you can see, only by clicking, I'm learning hell of a lot. It's a $154 billion valuation company, and the price pretty high, but that's okay. What I'm interested in is to see what's going on with the groups. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you this blue field, the page of a company, right? So you understand the scorecard now, you can read this, it's all clear. But now what is that? Okay, it is analysis of correlation. Correlation is a similarity between ACML and other groups. Okay, we again focusing on the groups. So what does the analysis show? So there's this company belongs to several groups like semiconductors, equipment, highly correlated stocks. This is a very special group which we calculate every day and see what are the companies which are highly correlated to ACML. So that means this group of 13 stock really kind of moving as a herd, okay? Where's my ACML? It's here, right? So this is an interesting group, and let's look at that group. You see, ACML and stock correlation. You see, these are the companies which are well correlated to ACML. And then what we are going to do, we're going to analyze whether or not the idea of a buy is supported by this herd. So if the herd is also moving up, then that's good, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click here, and then blue bar, and also gonna go to the scorecard for these 13 tickers, okay? So I'm gonna click here, and now let's look what analysis we're gonna get. You see this the same 13, and it's a buy, cool, okay? So what it does, it shows me that there was a good recommendation on ACML, and this group is kind of reversing. And then what it means ACML is buy. Let's okay, this one is sell. You see, this is strong buy. So not all of applied materials, it's a buy, strong buy. You see? So what it happened, that means that the AI found a good trend for good stocks to go up. And that's a good confirmation to buy ACML, okay? And that's, you're not gonna find this type of analysis just with clicks, which is pre-calculated every night. All these groups are pre-calculated. Correlations pre-calculated. Then what is pre-calculated? These reports are pre-calculated. And all this analysis of pretty much any stock, let's say what we saw here, applied material, right? You can read what's going on with analysis of applied material right here, and see what's happening. Okay, it's pretty much highly reversing, and it's a good start. You see, that was a signal on a MACD. And then if you don't know MACD, you can read about MACD right here. So you click here and read about MACD as an indicator, okay? So as you can see, we collected here quite a lot of information. So you see, this is again, 33 cases out of 41 were supporting the idea of going up of applied material. And it means our analysis is always based on pre-calculated odds of success. All other pieces of software or the websites, they force you to create a strategy and do calculations every time you do something. If you want to really consider, and you wait and wait and wait, here, just with clicks, you have pre-calculated analysis of individual stocks, group analysis in the form of a screener and in the form of the reports you can read in the plain English, okay? So that's about it, how much I wanted to talk about the odds of success. What is important, we use the same concept when we move these, for instance, stocks to the, let's say, trend prediction engine, okay, pattern search engine. These are all premium products. Let's say I want to find out what type of day trading type of patterns for this set of stocks. I'm just click here, okay, and now I'm gonna get to my premium product, which is finding patterns for all these stocks in this group, okay? And you see the smaller time frames, as you can see, now we're looking for the times for 15 minutes. They are not necessarily going to be corresponding to the long-term analysis, week or like a month. This is a shorter term analysis which show us, you see, this type of good opportunities also for trades. And the way it is presented here, we give a real entry price and exit price. And that's exactly how much you can make in terms of patterns. Okay. So here's the first question I receive. Just guys, please give me the. I purchased their site and it's asking me to pay. What it means? I purchased the site and it's asking me to pay. What does it mean? I don't understand the question. So I entered credit card. Yeah, we have a customer support. You can call them or send email. Went through. Okay. Yeah, it depends what you bought. We do have like a system where you can buy whatever you really need. Okay, we don't want you to. You see, you can buy robots, you can buy Pirate search engine. You guys can get familiar yourself with pretty much every premium product we have, and just read, watch the videos. By the way, don't hesitate to use this button help. Okay, this is a help center where you can read pretty much about every single topic. Today I talk about the free trade signals. You can view another video or read the manual. That's where you can get most of the information. Okay. Let me see if you. Okay. So guys, if you don't have questions, then I'm going to close this webcast. Don't hesitate to talk to us one-on-one. So you can order the lessons and then talk to us. We can go through some particular questions one-on-one and then explore the site. My recommendation, use paper trades, which is going to give you the confidence how it works. That way you are not going to lose the money when you're exploring. If you're new, I have one more question. Thank you guys. Yeah, please don't hesitate to ask customer support, and hope you are going to enjoy the website and you're going to make the money. Okay. So I'm going to be then closing the sharing and going to close the webcast. Thank you guys, and goodbye.